Hi everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow out of Diagnostics. We have a 2012 Ford F150 here, EcoBoost V6, and customer complaint is, well, what's missing? The windshield wipers. So he said they just stopped working. You know, older guy, kind of old school. He's like, I replaced the wiper switch, so this whole stock assembly. He replaced the wiper motor, you know, the whole transmission assembly. He said he checked fuses. Then he's like, it still doesn't work, figure it out. So it's here. Let's scan it for codes, do some research. How does this wiper system work? What controls it? And see if we can pinpoint this problem. Well, looks like we have quite a few codes here. So let's save that in a report. Let's see if there's anything related to wipers. ABS has missing communication with the instrument panel, cluster control module, APIM, whole bunch of communication codes, tire pressure switch, key and switch, missing communication with BCM, IPC, battery voltage, ABS, again, whole bunch of stuff there. Misfire detected in cylinder number 6, O2 sensor circuit, low voltage bank 2 sensor 1. There we go. SCCM, wiper mode switch, wiper motor module. Huh. So let me just clear everything out, because it has a whole bunch of random communication codes, and these are all saved in a report, so no issues there. And we'll see if the codes in the SCCM come back. Alright, so all codes are cleared. Let's go into steering column control module, since that seems to be responsible for the wipers. Read fault code. Should have just pressed continuous memory codes. Alright, here we go. So, two codes, B113108 and B113108A, wiper motor module, signal, bus signal message error. Fault is currently present. Bus signal message error. Wiper motor module. So apparently the wipers are its own module. That's crazy. Let me take a look at live data real quick. See if we can see the wiper switch. So I'm just going to put in wiper. So if I go to here, front intermittent data 1, intermittent data 2, intermittent data 3, intermittent data 4, data 5, low speed, high speed. So the switch is happy. It's talking to the steering column control module, but the code wiper motor module fault is currently present. So let's look up this code, let's look up a wiring diagram, go from there. Alright, so let's take a look at the wiring diagram for the wiper system. This is OEM diagrams. We have 5 pages just to control wipers. So BCM feeds the steering column control module, which is working fine, and it can see the switch input, and then it talks to whatever on module communication, high speed CAN. Let's look at page 2. There's the BCM, so run accessory relay. Then in the battery junction box we have a wiper relay. And apparently when that turns on, it'll send power through the control side of the wiper relay straight to ground. So this should turn on at the same time as the run accessory relay. And then battery junction box, fuse F49 30 amp. That clicks, sends power on this violet and white wire to A. So let's go to the next page. Okay, here we go. Here's A. That's the main power feed to the windshield wiper motor assembly. And then, how does it talk to the steering column control module? There is one wire, LIN, right here. So the wiper motor itself has a module inside that talks on the LIN to the steering column control module. Direct communication on a single wire. So the SCCM is saying, hey, we can't talk to, let's see, which code is that? Wiper motor module bus signal message error. So let's pull that up, but first thing we're going to do is check power and ground on this windshield wiper motor. So that comes from, we can check fuse F49 30 amp in the battery junction box. That's the easiest thing to do. And then this wiper relay. Alright, so let's read up on this system. I looked up the B1131 code. It sends you to this pinpoint test. Okay, so right here, principles of operation. The windshield wiper system is activated by the multifunction switch. The multifunction switch is mounted to the steering column control module. The SCCM commands the wiper motor to activate the appropriate wash, low, high, and intermittent modes through a private local interconnect network, LIN. Yes, so we saw that on the wiring diagram. When the multifunction switch is in the high position, the wiper motor also receives a ground signal which is hardwired directly through the SCCM, bypassing the logic within the module. This fail-safe circuit makes sure the wipers function in high-speed mode in the event of a LIN communication failure. Okay, so that's actually very neat. We can use that to our advantage. So on this page, see this high input wire? So when you turn the switch to high, it grounds this wire. So if your communication's messed up, it'll still turn on the motor in high speed. And the motor didn't turn on at all. So that's another strike for main power and ground problem at this this wiper motor, module. So let's go right for the power feed, which is fuse F49 30 amp in the battery junction box. So here's our battery junction box. Actually pretty nice, easy to get to. 49 is going to be the third fuse in this last row of big fuses. So 1, 2, 3. That is a 30 amp, and I don't know, looks like it's in one piece here. So next, let's go to the wiper motor assembly. Perfect. So the guy already has the cowl torn apart. Let me get that off. You see the wires right there. Alright, so we got a test light connected to battery ground. If I find a positive, it's going to light up. Here's our violet and white wire right here. So, no power. So for now, let me bypass that wire. We'll just provide a power here, plug everything in, make sure the wiper motor works, and then we'll chase this power circuit. Alright, here we go. So through a fuse, it's going to feed power to that circuit. You saw a little spark there. So let's see if the wiper motor works. So we'll do key on. Let's turn it on. Yay. High speed, low speed, and off. Perfect. So now all we have to do is find the green crusties. I'm sure it's going to be green crusties. If the fuse is good, we have no power here, it's going to be a pus sack somewhere. Well, actually, if the fuse is good, we still have a variable here, wiper relay, in the battery junction box. Let's see where the wiper relay lives. We can at least see if the power is making it to here. We can jump these two if this thing is accessible. I don't know if it is, and we'll go from there. Alright, so here's our junction box. Fuse 49 looks fine. Wiper relay is the second one, lower right corner, right next to the low fan control relay. And I think the owner said he tried a new relay, but it didn't change anything. So we have pins 1, 2, 4, 5, and 3. So we're using 1, 2, so 3 and 5 should be the load. 1 and 2 is the control. Alright, so wiper relay, this one right here. Let's do test light from battery ground. We find the power, it'll light right up. So which pins are we going for? Okay, so this one right here looks like it has a dim light. This one here is nothing. Okay, so that should be the main power feed. So it goes from the fuse to pin 3, and if we jump it to pin 5, the wiper should work. So we could do that quick test. Just put a jumper in here, and then we'll see if the control side of the relay is not working. Actually, a quick check we can do continuity wise is reconnect our power feed to the white and violet white wire right here at the motor, and then if it makes it back to the relay, then we know that wire is good. So let's do that. No test light. So indeed we have a broken wire. See, that works. Oh, now that does work. Now both pins are hot. So if I keep my test light in there and disconnect this power, okay, so my initial suspicion was actually wrong. The load side is perfectly fine. So either a bad relay or something wrong on the control wire. So the control wire is this white and blue and then straight to ground. Well, since we're here, let's see if we find the ground, it's going to light up. One of these pins, either pin 1 or pin 2, should be a ground, and well, pin 1 should be the ground, and on this diagram, pin 1 should be in upper left corner. Are you kidding me? We're missing a ground. So we find a ground, it's going to light up. Pin 1 should be a ground. It's missing a ground. Crazy. Let's just double check that the control side, the high side is good. So if I find a positive, it's going to light up. And on pin 2, that would be pin 2 right here. That should light up when I turn the key on, because the accessory relay should provide power to that. So let's try that. No, nothing. What's going on here? We can't have two bad wires. No, that's hot. If you connect this, that's hot. So the load side I'm not worried about. I'm worried about this control side. That should be hot with the run whatever relay energized. Let's see. Run accessory relay non-serviceable in the BCM. Feeds this white blue wire to 2. Then 1 should be a ground. The 2 should be hot, 1 should be a ground. We have neither. We have no power and no ground. That's really quite bizarre. Okay, so I reconnected my test light to battery positive now. And this pin, the lower left, is lighting up. Let me turn the key off. It's really strange. I see the test light in the window. Whoa. Something. What the heck is going on here? We had that key and switch error too. Is it a worn out switch? That's on. That's accessory. And off. So that test light's staying lit on that pin. So is that the ground? That's not what the diagram shows. What else does that feed? Fuse F79 5 amp. Do we have fuse F79 5 amp? Fuse F12345, 12345. Let's see if that fuse is hot when we turn the key on. So right now it should be off. Let me see if that fuse lights up when our run accessory relay's on. Nope. Nope. Okay, that is a problem. White and blue wire. That's the output of the run accessory relay from the BCM. Well, here's a neat trick you can do with the test light. Since both fuse F79 and the wiper relay control are on the same circuit and they're not being energized by the BCM, let's take a test light from battery positive, plug in the relay, and feed some power to fuse F79 5 amp. So, relay's plugged in. I'm on the battery positive with my test light. If I touch fuse F79, check it out. The wiper relay is clicking. I'll prove that. See, no click. Okay, so the ground is good. We have a control side issue. So basically, if I provide power to here through my test light, it'll click the wiper relay on and the wiper motor should work just fine. Okay, just to prove the concept, I took fuse F79 out. So this would be the feed from the BCM. No, I'm sorry, this is the feed from the BCM. That goes to, wherever. So if I touch that, see the dim test light, it's powering up the wiper relay. Let's make sure the wiper motor turns on. Sure does. And we'll see if it turns on in the accessory state. Okay. So we need to chase the circuit now from the BCM to this wiper control relay. Okay, so what's the next step? So we have a problem with this circuit. From the run accessory relay, non-serviceable in the BCM, connector C2280F, pin 11, white and blue wire, goes straight to the wiper relay. So the BCM lives on the passenger side in the kick panel area, right here. And C2280F would be this upper connector right up here. So let's go find that. We'll find pin 11. right here. And we can measure the output voltage right at that wire when we turn the key on or accessory. See what we find. Okay, this is our connector, C2280F. Sure enough, we have a yellow, gray, blue, and orange here. If we go all the way across to pin 11, see pin 12 and 13 are empty. Here's our white and blue wire. So let me tap into that, and we'll do some voltage measurements right here. Okay, so I'm grabbing power from the cigarette lighter through an adapter. Test light, we have a good power and ground reference right here. So now, let's plug in our test light to that white and blue wire. And when we turn the key to accessory or on, that test light should light up, should light right up. So let's see. It does not. So the BCM is not sending power on that wire. How about that? Did not expect that. What if we go from battery power to that wire? Will the wiper relay click? Let's see. I heard a click. Let's see if our wiper motor works. It should work in high even if we're in yep, that's the bypass for the SCCM. With the key on, we should work in all speeds. Yep, the intermittent works. Now everything works. We're missing a power feed coming out of this BCM from the run relay accessory circuit. How about that? Alright, so what's the next logical step? We're missing power right here with the key on. Run accessory relay. Well look, it's fed by a fuse, F10 10 amp in the BCM. Let's go check that fuse. That's the next easiest thing to do. Alright, so I popped off the fuse cover here off the BCM, and fuse number 10 is going to be the 10th one in this row right by this relay 49. Let's see, a little tight in here, but let's count the fuses. You guys see that? If I shine my light, oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then space. Is that a missing slot? That's fuse 10. It's missing. What the heck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Missing fuse. Unbelievable. What the? Let's pop in a 5 amp test light instead of a 10 amp fuse just in case there's a short circuit there. Why is that fuse missing? I don't know. I guess it just walked out on its own. It just fell out. Yeah, let's make sure there's no short circuit on there. Turn the key on and wipers should work. Alright, so I have a 4 amp test light installed in place of that fuse, and then my little test light right here is going to be monitoring that C2280F pin 11 output to the wiper relay. Accessory. Guys, our wiper should work. No short circuit. I'm going to take a picture of that missing fuse for the customer and ask them, where did the fuse go? Now, that was not the shortest diagnosis because we started at the wiper motor and kind of backtracked from there. Load side of the wiper relay checked out. Control side, we're missing power from the BCM. At the BCM, sure enough, there's no wiring problems. We ruled that out. Bypass test, everything works. And then we finally found the missing fuse. So I guess, you could have shortcutted it a little bit. People say, oh, why don't you just check the fuses first? Oh, yeah, that's true. If we checked, the wiring diagram first, and then checked all the fuses related to the wipers on the wiring diagram, yeah, that would have been a little faster. But the process is still the same. Follow the data. We just kind of went backwards to the root cause of the problem. you don't generally find missing fuses that often. Sometimes they're blown, but this is a mystery. Everything seems to work just fine. I'm wondering if the radio now works. That was not one of the customer complaints. Oh my gosh, I can't see anything up here. 136. Key on. So the radio seems to be dead. Completely dead. But again, the customer didn't complain about that. HVAC works fine. So I just got off the phone with the customer, and the mystery is no longer a mystery. He said he was in the fuse box, messing around, trying to get his radio to work. He tried replacing the radio, but he got the wrong radio, and this and that, and then he checked fuses. Apparently, he pulled that fuse out, never reinstalled it, so that explains why the wipers didn't work. That's it. Let's put everything back together, button it up, make sure everything's good, rescan it for codes, and that's all the customer requested. I got the wiper blades reinstalled and aligned. Let's do a test run. Let's spray. I think that looks reasonable. Sweet. There's intermittent mode. I think we're good to go. Alright, final code scan after repairs. We do have the oxygen sensor code there. And let's clear this one out. No code set there. Perfect. Key and switch. Yeah, his ignition key is messed up in the off position. It's kind of finicky there. I think that's it. So basically no parts required. Problem was caused by the owner himself. So in this case, Ford, it's not your fault. But thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Well, guess what? It's basically empty in there. I just don't understand. People don't check their basics. The wipers are apparently more important than your engine oil or your coolant or your tire pressure. Yeah, okay. Let's top that off. This is deck school, so for Ford from 11 to 19, I guess. They did use deck school, and so did Chrysler from 13 to 18. Let's see how much this thing takes. This is about a gallon. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Is there anything in there? We're still not to the cold-filled range. There we go. Start seeing something there. I'll just give him the whole gallon. Why not? Unbelievable.